you who are really kind of paying attention to this and want to make sure that there's nothing new. We just looked at the radar just a moment ago, and you can see, no, right where that radar is picking up, there's only some light green right now. We're not concerned with this one along Route 495. Essentially, this one is a false signature, and we do get those from the radar. So really, that's why it's important to do the full analysis of each storm, and that's what the Weather Service has done. And upon doing that analysis, they decided that until 5 p.m., it would seem this storm poses a threat, with a potential anyway, with the potential for some tornadic development. So that's what we're watching with the storm east of Hartford right now. I'm just checking right now to see whether we're getting any updates coming out of that area. I don't see anything new that's coming out of the Hartford area in terms of damage reports right now. I am seeing a lightning strike report. What do we have here? In Foxborough at 5 minutes past 4, one person injured in a lightning strike to a home on Mechanic and Hope Street. So again, that is in Foxborough, Massachusetts. That just coming in now. Word from the National Weather Service of one injured in Foxborough. And that's another one of the concerns with this thing, is that when you get the lightning. So what we can do is the lightning is actually being plotted on here for you. If you go up, for example, to southern New Hampshire, those of you who are watching us from southern New Hampshire getting rocked right now with some pretty good thunder just outside of Manchester. It's headed up in toward Bedford, New Hampshire right now. It's essentially just west of Interstate 93, coming up over Route 101, making its way up to Route 114, and it'll go right along Route 13. That's where we've got pretty decent thunder and lightning. Other than that, though, you don't see a lot of widespread lightning strikes. So this is not a prolific lightning producer. Every storm is different. This one, the concern becomes embedded tornadoes. Now, here's the deal. For Boston to the Cape, you look at this and say, what is our concern? Why are we under a tornado watch if it seems like all the action's in Connecticut? Well, notice to the south, there's a lot more where this came from. And what you start to see to the south also is you see some real clustering of lightning going on. This tells the National Weather Service, this tells us that there certainly is very strong storm growth in this area, and that's all moving off to the north-northeast. So this will arrive to the Cape, and that gives you an understanding, too, as to why the tornado watch is out until 9 p.m., because there's a lot of this still to come on through. The good news for folks in Connecticut, although you're under the tornado warning right now in the suburbs east of Hartford, of Manchester and Vernon, the good news is things have already let up along the south coast of Connecticut, Route 95, and a southern end of Route 91. So as this keeps moving, you're pretty much done. I wouldn't be surprised if in the Hartford area, once this storm moves through, if you're removed from the tornado watch, as there doesn't appear to be much more action that would come your way. Again, heading back over now to the warning plot and just giving you updates. If you're just joining us now, essentially the National Weather Service continues a tornado warning for eastern Hartford County, including Manchester, Vernon, and Rockville on the north side of this. Essentially forecast to go just east of Route 91 and just east also of Windsor Locks. So it should stay east of Windsor Locks on its way by. Severe thunderstorm warning now continues when you get back in across southern Rhode Island. Let's see, getting reports now on my live stream that's active on the internet here that a ham radio reporter is reporting trees down in South Glastonbury, Connecticut, very high winds greater than 70 miles per hour. So again, now getting word from Glastonbury, South Glastonbury, Connecticut, of very high winds exceeding 70 miles per hour. That from a Skywarn National Weather Service trained spotter who reports in via ham radio right now. So therefore, that means obviously this warning from the National Weather Service is going to stay intact, I would say, until we get to that 5 o'clock hour for the suburbs east of Hartford. You know, when you loop it over the last hour, can't you see that storm just wrapped up tremendously here as it makes its way over the area? And this is the concern, is that if we're now getting reports of damage done and winds in excess of 70, look at this hook now that's developed. This is very impressive hook echo coming back from the suburbs southeast of Hartford, again along Route 17 and the New London Turnpike, just by Route 2. Essentially, this storm is completely hooked into itself, which indicates that it's most definitely rotating aloft. The question always becomes, has it made it down to the ground? And getting reports of damage, at least we know very strong winds have made it down to the ground. Here is the velocity plot, and still we're seeing what is at least a very strong rotation, a red and green, meaning that the air is moving in very opposite directions here in the suburbs just southeast of Hartford, now coming up through Manchester. And this tornado warning remains up until 5 o'clock this evening. Now, it'll be canceled if you look at this and you start to see the rotation really weaken. That would afford you the opportunity to cancel the tornado warning. At this point, though, there's no such indications of that. It's still completely wrapped up inside of itself here, which means that still the threat for a tornado exists. Again, what you should be doing is taking shelter indoors, down in the lowest level, ideally in your basement if you're in the path of this storm. I can zoom in a little bit more to give you a better idea of what streets we think are in the path here. The New London Turnpike, back up through Route 2, back up to Route 94, and essentially right along Keeney Street. These are the areas.
Welcome to Twin River.
84, not long after that. And again, to give you a bigger, kind of broader perspective, I know a lot of you who watch NECN are from the Boston area, so I want to keep you updated as well. What we're doing right now is we're advising folks on the tornado warning for eastern Hartford County, including Manchester and Vernon, Connecticut, that'll be in effect all the way until we get to 5 o'clock. This means that folks in that area are taking shelter in their basements. The entire area remains under a tornado watch. Tornado watch, if I zoom out just a little bit, there's the tornado warning east of Hartford. Let me zoom out a little bit more, and you can see the whole red area. There's your tornado watch area. This includes North Shore, South Shore, Merrimack Valley, Worcester County, down to Providence, across to Hartford, now up to Springfield. That's a new addition. Because of the rotating storm near Hartford, Storms Prediction Center has added the Springfield area and Pioneer Valley into this tornado watch because the concern is if this thing may be producing a tornado now and